Hello everybody, my name is iWafflez, and tonight I'm going to be looking at three individually packaged Marvel Legends from the Marvel 80th Anniversary line, and it's going to be the Alex Ross, Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. I found these at Walmart, but that was just by luck. The Walmart app is very wonky when it comes to stock, and is it usually isn't. It's pretty accurate, but with this line, I've found out that this line is really hard to track on the app, and do not trust the app to help you find. Use BrickSeek or something, because those are more accurate numbers of how much is in stock or if they even have it. Because I went to a store, it said it had it in stock, but they did not have it in stock. So it's a toss-up with this. This seems like exclusives or the the anniversary lines are really hard for Hasbro to get out. I don't know, for some reason. It's just, I don't know. I was just pure luck when I found the 480th anniversary figures or figure packs. Alright, well, I guess we'll look at Captain America's box first, if I don't knock over the camera. On the back it has Alex Ross's art, which is very realistic, but yet still comic. Really like his art. In the bio for Captain America, the art once again, and that's where the packaging is, has the Captain America logo, the old retro Captain America logo. Thor's is once again Alex Ross art, really like that. And then his bio, the art again on the front. All of these actually don't have a lot of bad boxware, saying that I did find them in retail. And then Iron Man, classic logo, Alex Ross art on the side. On the back, the figure does not match this art exactly, but I'm fine with that because I don't like the red and the gold plating on being on the outside. I much rather prefer the figure how it's designed right now than the bio, and then all of that. Alright, so let's just get to the figures because that's what the main selling point is. Alright, now here are all the figures. The main gripe I have with these figures is QC issues and stiffness of overall joints, because there's a lot of paint slop or paint chipping, as you can notice on Iron Man, but other than that, these figures are sculpted and perform almost perfect. I could not see another company designing these figures any better than Hasbro. In my opinion. There is some reuse between most of these figures, except for Iron Man. I think Iron Man is completely new, if I'm not mistaken. Cap and Thor share some common parts, I know that for sure. Thor shares some parts from Hercules, the Avengers Endgame Wave 1. Figures are just sculpted really well, and I think the designs they went with were really good. And we finally got actual sculpted scales for Captain America in a Hasbro line. It feels great. I know that they probably have done it earlier, but this is a really well articulated Captain America, and I have the first, not really the first, like the Civil War wave Captain America. We'll do a comparison with him in a later part of this video, but this thing is amazing. The shine I know you can't see it on camera, but the shine, oh man. If they would have put this on the Worthy cap, ooh, that for the scale, that figure would just be the top of my figure. Those two would be the top of my figure list for the end of eternity. It's just, these figures are really well made. Who do we want to start with? I guess we'll start with gear that has the most reuse out of everyone, which would be Captain America. Now, Captain America is the most reused. The torso, upper torso, like the whole torso, I believe the arms, and then from down here is the regular Captain Americas we've been getting, and the belt's reuse. The legs, I don't know where these are from. I think those are completely new to Captain America, because they're not on the original release. And the legs are not, I think they're from the original release as well. The boots are definitely original release. The shield is definitely original release, and it still has that same problem where it's hard to clip onto the glove, and it generally doesn't stay. But you know, the shield darker red than previous releases, which is really nice. I think it fits the color scheme of this Captain America, and as you can tell, there is some paint bleedage on this figure. The red, like the stripes are sculpted. They are definitely sculpted in. It's just like Captain America has the worst QC issues when it comes to paint because I don't know, it's manufacturing, but I seem to have gotten a pretty good one. Really cool. The articulation for him is his head can move all the way up, all the way. When I mean all the way, because he has a very hollowed out head, which in my opinion is a little bit too small, but that's okay because it allows to give you more, emotion. Ab crunch, I think it's a little bit less than the previous Captain America's way back, but you can see all the way in there. There's just a huge gap. The arms, now you want to be careful with these arms because it's scale, and it's just, you'll have to force it a little bit, but if you think you're going to break it, do not move them heated up and then move it because these are really going to be prone to breaking. I can already tell, and I may be getting a second one just because I'm afraid I'm going to break this one. But he has a bicep swivel, kind of tight because of the scales. Double jointed elbow, but he gets a little past 90 because of the glove sculpt. And then with all of his hands, he has a hinge, and also with the fists. I think these, when I first opened him, these were really hard to move. I had to heat him up a little bit to get him to move a little bit. Then he has a waist swivel. He could kick up, just flat even. He can kick out really far, farther than most comic Spider-Man figures from the Marvel Legends. He has a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, but can't go in all the way because of the boot sculpt. Calf swivel. Ankles can move all the way down, it's just flat. And then he has really good ankle pivot, which is really good. And here is Iron Man. If I could get to focus, there we go. He is a very shiny red. I'm so glad they didn't go with a dull gold or red because it wouldn't have been able to pull off. It's definitely not what the prototype looked like, but I think everyone knew going in that it wasn't going to look exactly like the prototype, but I'm fine with that. The sculpting is really nice. I think this is the Mark 3 or 4 in the comics, but it's really nice. Of course, he'll never be able to put his arms all the way down just due to how the body is sculpted, but that's fine. And these discs on the side, they are flexible, but I think over time, the more you pose them outward and all that, they're going to start showing signs of tear. So I don't know how long they're going to hold up, but I can't see them really doing anything else that didn't hinder that articulation. But yeah, that's pretty much it for sculpt wise. But articulation, he can get his head moving up quite a lot, but not all the way up. But if you move the ab crunch, he can get a flight pose, so that's really nice. Ab crunch can go way forward, more than Cap, way far back, and then the arms move just flat even. They can rotate, of course. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, but on this one it's really tight. And of course, he has the Cap thing where the glove is hindering his articulation. Then his fists can hinge in and out like that. He has repulsor hands, but they are static where they peg in. He has a waist swivel, really nice. Legs move forward, and to beware about this figure is that is from doing this too much, and that chips the paint really easily. So beware of that. I can't really see very much on how to not do anything against it. You could just have him static pose, but this Iron Man's too cool to not have him in an action pose. But paint chip would probably be inevitable on this Iron Man, unfortunately. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Can he get? Nope. He gets cap length again, and then he also has a boot swivel. His ankles can move all the way flat and way forward, and he has a good ankle pivot, which is really nice. And then with Thor, I'll get this hammer out. The hammer is new. It has the "Whoever shall be worthy will possess the power of Thor" insignia on it. It's new. I don't really like how long the handle is, but I'm guessing that's how Alex Ross has drawn it. But yeah, Thor is really nice. They added an actual detail, like paint detail, to the cape, so that's nice. Finally, you know, he's a little bit harder to stand up because of that cape, because it holds a lot of weight. But most of the time, he tends to stand up. But as you can see, the cape is dragging him down because it's plastic. But I don't think they could have done anything at the price point they're selling him at. But you can go to the aftermarket to find capes for this guy. But the hair helmet sculpt really nice, but it hinders articulation greatly. The upper arm right here is reused from Hercules from earlier this year, so I don't think it's bad reuse. I think it's pretty clever reuse. I don't know if the fists are. They don't look like the Hercules fists. I think these are new sculpted fists. Well, fist and grip hand. I haven't seen anything. I think this is completely original to Thor as well. The boots, of course, those are very Thor. That's pretty much it sculpt-wise for Thor. He, of course, has the discs and the, I don't know, the wristbands. I guess our Asgardians wore that back then. But for articulation, he can move his head up that much. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing, but he can move his head down a little bit more. He can barely turn his head. It's basically stuck to the back. The arms can go flat out. They can rotate, but they'll get in the way of the cape. And the top of, like, these little covers right here, they're pretty soft, so they'll get out of the way of the figure. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows gets more than Iron Man and Cap. And then on this side, because he has two interchangeable hands on this side, they both hinge up and down. And then he has, for his hammer holding hand, he has the roll of the dice. He has not an ab crunch, but a ball, so he can get a little bit more expressive with his movement. And then he has a waist swivel for some reason, but I'm not complaining. He kicks up that far, but as you could tell with the sculpt, he won't be able to kick straight forward. He'll have to kick out a little bit. He can get out really far for some reason. That's quite a long, wide kick. Thor, thigh swivel, double jointed knees hidden right behind the cover of that, and then he has a boot swivel that's hidden. I really like how they hid that. And he has a foot that goes down that far, just flat, and then he has an ankle pivot right there. That's pretty much it for articulation and detail, and basically all my gripes about these figures. So let's get to the accessories and then comparisons, and then my final verdict. Starting off with Captain America again. Of course, he comes with a standard shield. He can't be Captain America without his shield. And then he gets the thing that was introduced with the Secret Wars Captain America, if I'm not mistaken, the throwing effect. But it's a really nice dark red, but QCSUs once again strike because it has like this weird griminess to it. I don't know. I'm never going to use it really for him, but it's a really nice inclusion. And then on him, when you open him up in package, he comes up with these grip hands, so you can just store the shield in the grip hands without actually having to use the clip feature, which will wear out the gloves. And then the most disappointing part is the head, the Alex Ross head, I believe. Yeah, I think this Captain America got hit in the head and got a lazy eye or something. Because every Captain America I saw had this lazy eye to some degree. This was the one that was the least tame. Like, it was actually somewhat normal. That's kind of a bummer that I can't use it, but I'm kind of fine with the head he has on right now. So I'm not that bummed out, but I guess they get an effort for trying with him. I don't know. We'll do Iron Man next. He, of course, comes with the helmet head that he has on. Then he comes with the Tony Stark head, which, whew, that is a really well sculpted Tony Stark head if I've ever seen one. You can't use it for a Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, of course, but man, that is a really nice Tony Stark head sculpt. It would have been better if they added a little bit of a wash to the hair, but I am fine with how this looks. I may get another one just so I can have the helmeted head on a suit body or something. I don't know. And then here we have the Alex Ross helmet, which is realistic, I guess. I don't know, but it looks cool. I'm not going to use it, of course. I like the helmet head that he has on right now, but really nice inclusion. Oop, if I don't drop them. Hey guys, it's post video review Matthew, and I'm in because I forgot a couple of crucial accessories for the Iron Man figure. He comes with repulsor hands. They're static. And then he comes with the inside blast effect, like a bigger blast effect, and then you can plug it into the regular blast effects, but they don't really hold that well for some reason. I don't know. The hole's too tiny on that, but I think that's what these are for. It works. It'll hold for a little bit, and then, but if you apply even the slightest bit of pressure, it now won't do it because, of course, it's on camera. But yeah, okay, there you go. This one fell apart, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the Iron Man accessories. So let's get back to the Thor accessories. And then with Thor, of course, he has Mjolnir, and then he gets the short end of the stick with a splayed out hand. That's I would have liked a lightning effect or something, but I really couldn't think of other stuff that Thor could come with. I mean, I guess lightning effect would really only be it, or like the staff for Donald Blake, or even a head for Donald Blake, so we can make a custom Donald Blake. But not a lot of people remember him, so I guess this is fine for accessories. But let's get to height and size comparisons, and then my final verdict. Alright, Thor, to the top of his feathered helmet, is 7.5 inches from what I saw. And Iron Man and Cap are basically the same with 6.5 inches. I'm fine with this because he's supposed to be a man in an iron suit, so he adds height. And this is supposed to be peak human, I guess. Peak human with some extra strength. And so, therefore, if he was peak human, he probably would be a little bit taller. So I like the scaling. I mean, these will fit in pretty well with your comic figures. So let's start him out with something relatively small, but not too big. The Fortnite Jazzware line. Skull Trooper. So yeah, he dwarfs. He is basically just a shrimp compared to them, unfortunately. But here he is. Here is the what wave was this? Onslaught wave, Captain America. So as you can see, he's shorter somehow than the new Cap. This was a serviceable Captain America, but didn't like him because he didn't have scale sculpting. But what can you do? I didn't pick up the vintage collection one just because I had this one there relatively the same. Just didn't want him if Iron Man doesn't follow. Yeah, that's Captain America. And here we have the Okoye wave, Invincible Iron Man. He is still shorter. Are they a little? Yeah, he's a little bit shorter than the classic Iron Man. Once again, serviceable, but he had a loose arm, so he's going to be replaced with that Iron Man figure. And then here we have the 80th anniversary Juggernaut. So let's see, how am I going to do this? I'll review this two-pack later. Yeah, he basically towers over all of them. That's no doubt about it. And then here we have the also from the same two-pack, the Colossus. So once again, well, Thor gives him a little bit run for his money, but yeah, he's still taller than Cap and Iron Man. Here we have the worthy Captain America, which is funny because this Captain America is Walmart exclusive as well, and I found them both at the same Walmart, which is very funny. But yeah, he's way smaller. This Captain America just beats him out in height any day. I don't know what paint. He has paint on him. Since for some reason I still haven't packed this guy away or even got rid of him, or put him in a display at this matter. Here he is with the Molten Man Build-A-Figure. I'll try to get him all stood up correctly. That's the best I could do. So yeah, once again, he towers over everyone like Molten Man does. Here he is with the Quantum Suit Captain America. I think I bought this on clearance because, oh well, I need another Captain America. He is way smaller. That is a shrimpy Captain America, to be sure. But yeah, let's get to my final verdict. In conclusion, should you buy all three of these figures? If you're a comic collector and you want your favorite version, these in my opinion are my favorite versions of the comic characters. So I had to buy them, of course. They were going to have to replace the versions I had on my shelf. It's up to personal preference. At this point, they're just so good that if you want to get these and go out and hunt for them and upgrade, in my opinion, because these are the best versions of the comic characters that you're going to find, and I didn't think Hasbro would execute these so well. Yeah, go get them. They're good. We need to reward Hasbro for when they do stuff that is good, and lately they've been doing a lot of good. Because of all the Marvel Legends I've bought recently, I am very happy with all of them. I've not regretted the purchases at all. These figures are no exception to that. I love them. They're forever going to be probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends. And if I do a top 10 figures of 2019, these are going to be on it for sure. Because this line overall is just leagues better than what they've released in the past 3 years, in my opinion. You can tell where the budget went. And they put it towards new sculpt where they needed it. They could do a little bit better on the QC issues. I think next I'll be looking at the Juggernaut and Colossus 2-pack if I'm going to try and get all the 80th anniversary figures out of the way that I have currently. I'm still looking around for Hulk and Wolverine. That's the last 2-pack of the comic figures I know I'll buy. I'm going to buy Grandmaster and Korg from the MCU line. I think that's going to be it, really, because I've already got a satisfying Iron Man Mark 50 and Iron Spider. I don't really care for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I may buy the Scourge and Hela 2-pack, but those are definitely videos that are probably going to be coming up eventually. It's just I've been slacking on uploading and filming reviews. It's just I don't know. I love these figures, and that's also part of probably the reason why I've never upload that much, is because I can't stop playing with these figures. They look amazing. That should be it. I think after I get all the Marvel Legends reviewing, I'll have time to review the Nendroid My Hero figures that I want to review, because that is a line that I think I've fallen into a rabbit hole that I will not get out of. Let's just say that. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.